For a lot of dismissive avoidant men or fearful avoidant men, they grew up in a childhood where they typically had a single mother or a father who was like emotionally distant, not very involved in the family, and the mother was constantly stressed out. And a lot of these avoidant men, when they were little boys, they were often like the kid that their parent didn't have to worry about, that type of thing. They a lot of times had like older siblings that maybe caused a lot of chaos in the family, and so that little boy learned like, okay, I have to kind of like suppress my needs. I can't have like any deep feelings or problems or anything because like mom is so stressed out all the time. I can't cause any more problems for her. And the mom would kind of put the weight of her issues accidentally on her son. Like, oh, you're the one I don't have to worry about. You're the one I can always rely on. Like, oh, your older brothers or your older siblings are causing all these problems. Thank you for being such a good kid. And this little boy would feel the weight of that pressure in that household. He would see the stress on his mother, and maybe at certain points he would try to bring up his feelings or needs, and even if his mom wasn't intending to, she just had so much going on. She was so distracted, or maybe she had mental health issues or addiction issues, and she just wasn't able to tend to his needs in the ways that she should have. And he kind of learned, like, I can't really have needs in this family environment. Like, I have to figure this shit out in order to survive. I have to do this on my own. I have to find ways to cope. I have to distract myself. I have to be the good kid. I have to be the peacemaker, whatever. But this type of family system is so chaotic, and it makes that little boy feel so trapped, so overwhelmed, so engulfed. Like, oh my God, I can't wait to get out of this house. Maybe like as a teenager, spending all his nights like over at his friends' houses, or keeping himself busy away from home because it's just too much. It's too much on his shoulders. It is so overwhelming. His nervous system is constantly in a state of fight or flight, like constant survival mode. And so this same little boy, when he grows up and becomes a man and he gets into a relationship with, like, let's say an anxious woman, the minute that woman starts bringing her needs and her requirements to the relationship, it is instantly going to trigger him and bring up those underlying feelings that he had about his own mother. He doesn't want to feel engulfed or suffocated by your needs. And I'm not saying that's okay. I'm just saying that's often what is happening in these situations. For his survival, he needs to feel like he has one foot out the door all the time, that he still has his autonomy and his independence, because those were things he felt like he didn't have growing up. And now to have to label a relationship, be committed to someone, and have that person depending on him like his mom did, and he feels like he has to be perfect, is very, very difficult for an avoidant man. And what can tend to happen is, like, when he does start to do things wrong, because everybody is fallible and makes mistakes in relationships. Let's say his partner comes to him and says, like, I don't understand why you're not prioritizing me. You're so busy with your hobbies or this or that. That's going to cause him immense shame, because he's not only being triggered by his partner, it also triggers his past, where he had to be perfect in order to keep the peace in that household. And so he will view this as an attack, as a rejection. He feels defective already, and so it makes him feel, it hits that defective wound, and that will build shame in the relationship. And that shame kind of gets projected outward as a resentment. Like, he will start to resent his partner. He will start to hyper focus on perceived flaws in his partner, or things that he finds annoying about them, especially, and what can often happen is that this anxious woman can tend to be very, like, nurturing and maternal, wanting to handle a lot of his problems or fix things for him or deal with things for him. And he will resent this. He will start to hate this about her, because it will remind him of his past. It will trigger him in that way, and he doesn't realize that, because he is not in tune with what's going on underneath. But that is what's happening for a lot of avoidant men.